Well, hello everyone, welcome to Descent Journeys in the Dark 2nd Edition. This is my review of Mists of Bilehall, which is finally here. So, let's get started, shall we? So, we start off with the rulebook itself. It's quite short, that's all you really need to know about that for the rules anyway. How short is it? Well, very short. Because we have this page right here, which is the main page. It talks about adding the this expansion to the main game itself. And then it talks about the other expansion, the Chains That Rust, which, well, it's actually in some ways a part 2 of this, which is going to actually be played all by itself. Then you have the terrains, which is the hazard terrain, which first appeared in the city of Miracle. Hazard is just lava. Well, really, lava kind of looks a bit weird in some tiles, so that's why they call it hazard. Anything that deals with hazard also deals with lava. Anything that deals with lava also deals with hazard. So that's all that is. Sludge is the brand new terrain that's in this campaign anyway. It acts like water. However, there's also something else that when a model, whichever it's going to be hero or monster, ends its tile in a sludge, in the beginning of their activation, their speed is 1. So it could be that if they're surrounded by sludge and they need to get out, they might actually have to use 2 move actions just to get out. Right, then you have the elevation, which, well, acts like walls, but you can actually see through it, and if you do a melee attack against each other adjacent to an elevation line, which are these red line dot things, then the defender gets 1 black dice. Quite simple. Then it comes to the last page. Yep, last page of that. This is really all it is. Okay, so I have the old wall, which is right here. Our old wall counts as walls. It's like the door tokens, but they just count as walls, so the block movement, line of sight, everything like that. Have crumbling terrain, which anyone that enters a space on one of them must take a knowledge or awareness, and if they fail, they will suffer the effect what's underneath them. That's pretty much all of that. There's a few little bits of extra bits, but I won't go into too few detail with that. Have a new relic card, which is a monster relic. It was actually shown in the Manor of Ravens. So a relic card can actually be attached to one of your monster groups. And it talks about Tainted Cards, which is only used in this and nothing else, where everyone has a random tainted card. No one knows. No players. So not even the Overlord. What happens is that the heroes get +2 health, but when they just go down, well, then they get to flip that card and find out what kind of cruel things would happen. Well, that is actually the rules itself. That's really about it. Then it comes down to lore, which is nice, and all the fluff. Then it talks about the quests itself. So, having a look at that. This one obviously starts first, then whoever wins does that, then whoever wins does the next one, and whoever wins does that, then it's the finale. Or interlude if you're playing the bigger campaign. As I said, this can actually be done for a bigger campaign, and if that's the case, then all of these only have 1 quest each. When I say 1 quest each, I actually meant encounters. One encounter, so it becomes more of a quicker game, which I'm not going to complain actually, because sometimes I love this game, but sometimes it could actually drag on for far too long, which encounter 1 and encounter 2, sometimes you might want to stop at inappropriate time when it comes down to going on to encounter 2. That means you've got to remember everything, which is not great. The only difference is the finale, or also known as the interlude, where the heroes does either encounter 2A or the Overlord does encounter 2B. Whoever gets the most wins, that is. And that's the ending. Short book, very easy. Thank you. Just wanted to show you some of the tiles quite quickly, because they do look quite interesting, really. Here we have Sludge, so feel sorry for whoever lands right there. Well, starts their turn. This one is a big piece where it has a lot of sludge all around it, and this is the hazard. Remember, it also counts as lava. Here's more hazard. Here again, so it counts as lava. And there is actually water, so you know it's not just sludge everywhere. Sludge and hazard, more hazard. Yeah, I'm not going to show you all the tiles. I just wanted to pick a few selected ones because they do look quite nice. We come on to the new monster group, which is called the Reanimate. We'll start with this. This is the Act 1 version, if the camera could focus. It has movement 3, health 3, round defense dice, and the master has 5 health. They have Phalanx, Reanimation, Swarm, and the master actually has Maneuver. 1 blue dice, and this one's a blue-red. Interesting. Come on, focus a bit more, that's it. The Reanimate's Phalanx is if the monster is adjacent to a figure from the monster group, replace its brown defense dice with a grey defense die. Which, you can't go wrong with that. It's pretty good, especially with the monster group itself. Reanimation is each time this monster suffers damage and is not defeated, it recovers damage equal to either the amount suffered or the number of monsters in this monster group within 3 spaces of it, whichever is less. Well, these are going to be really staying close to each other anyway, just because of Phalanx. The maneuver is that you choose 1 minion monster adjacent to this monster, and then that monster gains 2 movement points. Now it states that it's 1 minion monster. It doesn't say it needs to be the Reanimate itself, so that's actually good because it gives you more variety of all the other minions, especially like Shadow Dragon. Well, anyway, there we have Swarm. The monster deals +1 damage for each other monster adjacent to the target. Yet again, any monsters that is adjacent, which is actually really good. Okay, the downside is that it has got movement 3, and it has got 3 health with a brown defense dice, but really that would be more of a grey defense dice. The Act 2 version, having a bit more better stats, if we could focus, like 5 health, having a yellow dice, so that way it will never miss, and it's more likely to get more of these surges, whilst the master could miss but has an 8 health. Okay. Here is the creature itself. It's not bad, actually. Typical skeleton warrior, really. Very nice. I have a feeling that I would be using them just to swarm them. It's fun to block paths. Our next creature is the Bone Horror, or should that be Horror? Well, let's have a look at the Act 1 version of this. So it has a movement of 5, which is absolutely amazing, health of 5, and a grey defense dice. It has Extend, Lich-Them, Pierce 1 with a blue and yellow. The master has Lash, and actually has Pierce 2 with 7 health. Okay, so what do these do? Well, I actually already know, but still. Focus, thank you. Right, so the Extend does. Each time this monster performs an attack, it may target a figure up to 3 spaces away and in its line of sight. So, it's a melee creature that has short range. Yeah, okay, let's go along with that then. Lichdom. So friendly figures do not block this monster's line of sight, which is absolutely amazing. It's like finally you can actually attack whilst things are in the way, which is great. Lash. After this attack resolves, place the target in an empty space up to 2 spaces away from this monster. This is more of a close range thing, but it's always nice if there's, like, I don't know, hazard perhaps, or sludge, pit spaces and all that. That's great. And of course Pierce X does, well, X amount of damage. You'll automatically get 1 master, and the maximum is 2 minions 1 master, which is nice and all. The Act 2 version will actually have 6 health instead of 5, black defense dice. Still has a PS1. The yellow dice has been replaced with a red dice, and the master gets an additional red dice with 9 health instead of 7, with yet again black defense dice, but nothing else is new. The creature itself, come on, oh, my camera is like so slow. Right, so this is the Bone Horror, a single small base. Looks absolutely awesome, actually. I really do like it. I'm surprised that these things and these things on its side hasn't broken. It is quite sturdy, actually, even the spikes up here. So that's very good. I was worried about these because I was having a thought that these could actually just break off easily if they was quite flimsy. However, they're not, which is great. Yeah, of course. Go ahead and lay down. We come across the Broodwalker. Okay, so this is where it gets a bit weird. Oh, let me just show you this Act 1 right here. Okay, so it has 2 movement points. 7 health and a brown defense dice. 2 movements not going to get you far. Aha, that was a pun, right. It has Overflowing, Spend a Surge to Terrify, which is the brand new condition. Spend a Surge for +1 damage. It gets a blue and yellow. The Master gets Hive Defense with Overflowing. Colonize, when it does the Surge, +1 damage. It has 10 health with yet again that brown defense dice. Still movement 2. So what are these slow moving brutes like? Well, if you focus, Hive Defense is heroes treat each space adjacent to the monster as a hazard space. Remember, hazard counts as lava. Alright, so they're going to be doing 1 damage if they just stand next to each. But when they go, they're just going to move in. If they end their space next to them, then of course they'll get defeated straight away. Unless you actually kill the monster, which is good. Anyway, heroes treat, which is this is the plane. Heroes treat each space adjacent to this monster as a sludge space. So yet again, sludge counts as water when you're moving, but starting the activation means you have a movement of 1, and that's literally heroes and not other monsters, which is great. So the Colonize, if this attack deals at least 1 damage, the target is immobilized and terrified. We'll get to the terrify eventually, and there's the terrify. If it deals at least 1 damage, it is terrified. You get automatically 1 master, and then right at the very end, 2 minions 1 master, which is okay. The Act 2 version has 1 more health than its normal version and has a grey defense dice. Nothing's really changed apart from an extra yellow dice. The Master has an extra 2 more health, so health of 12. This is compared to the Act 1 and has a grey defense dice instead of brown. Otherwise, nothing has changed. Oh, it has an extra red dice, of course, to do more damage. And this hulking beast one single space model. If my camera could focus. It doesn't want to focus. Are you sure you don't want to focus? What about if I move my arm further away? That's it. That's better. Yeah. It looks kind of gruesome. It looks quite nice. I'm interested in using them. However, with its movement of 2, it's not really going to get you far at all in the running game. It's like zombies versus the brood walkers. Well, zombies have a movement of 3, but can only just have one move action. Then it can attack afterwards. Brood walkers can double move, so it can move 4 spaces, but it cannot attack afterwards. So in other words, it needs to do 2 move and 1 attack, if it can actually do that. Otherwise, it's just walking straight towards the heroes as fast as their stumpy legs can get them to. I really don't know about these monsters. Really don't. They're gonna get hit. They're gonna get damaged. But hey, who knows, they might work wonders. So we come across the lieutenants now, which will start off with Ardus Zariel. Ardus is a melee type lieutenant. The Act 2 versions of these will be in the Chains of Rust. Well, it should be. If they're not, then I want to know why. But I'm pretty sure that they will definitely be in the Chains of Rust. The Act 2 version of these, anyway. Right, so what do the Ardus does? He gets flanking, he gets Fury, and 1 Surge of Pierce 1. Okay, you can tell he's got a black defense dice in all of them, and a blue and red. So what do these actually do? So, flanking. Each time Ardus Zariel performs an attack, he may choose one monster with the cursed monster trait adjacent to the target. Of course, the target is going to be whoever you are going to try and attack. Right, so during the attack, Ardus may use the surge abilities of that monster. Hooray! More choices than just Pierce 1. Yeah, okay. That's going to be interesting. Especially when it comes down to, like, I don't know, the Bone Horror's Lash, perhaps? Anyway, Fury, each time Ardus performs an attack after rolling dice, he may test might, which he has a might of 5. So he's more likely to pass. If he passes, add 1 surge. If fails, it's a miss. Okay. And of course the Pierce is +1. And that's Ardus. Yeah, okay, he's going to be interesting to use, I guess. The second lieutenant is Zariel. Zariel, wow. She has Soul Mastery Tormentress with a Surge +2. She has a high movement, which is great. Some nice health there, I guess. Short range, though. Blue and red. So what does Zariel do? Quite a bit. She actually interests me a lot. Right, so Soul Mastery. Each time a hero within 3 spaces of Zariel would be defeated, she may test her knowledge. And her knowledge is, well, 4. So, there's a good chance of passing at least. So anyway, yeah. If she passes, before that hero is knocked out, perform an attack with that hero as if it were a monster. Then the hero is defeated. Well, unless that hero is a melee type and there's no other heroes within that, well, space to attack with. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty good. And it's free as well, so you don't have to do much. Alright, so Tormentress. When a hero starts his turn within 3 spaces of Zariel, or enters a space within 3 spaces of Zariel, their hero is terrified. I'll get back to terrified later. But wow, also terrified. That's great. She's very, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to using her. The third lieutenant is Kindrafol. Okay, what does this vampire do? Oh, so he's got bloodlines. Sorcery 3. I love playing around with sorcery. Sorcery is one of the best abilities ever. It's Surge Bone Splinter. It's an average speed of 4. Nice health for vampire anyway. Good defense. Blue and yellow and range, of course. So what does he do? Right, bloodlines. Add 1 shield to Kindrafol's defense results for each knocked out hero. That's anywhere on the board. So yeah, that's not bad, but you got to knock them out first. Sorcery X is after making a roll. You can convert X range to damage or X damage to range, which is 3. Great. Bone Splinter. Each figure adjacent to the target suffers 2 damage. So it's a blast. That's kind of what it is, except it's an auto 2 damage. Yeah, nice. And I'm looking forward to using him as well. Probably not as much as Zariel, but Kindrafol, you know, I think I'd definitely give him a shot. There are 5 new travel event cards, and they are quite fun to read. Some of them gives the heroes like some terrified conditions, which is fun with this one. There's 8 new Shop Act 1 cards. Of course, there's not going to be any Act 2 ones because this is literally a 1-act campaign. I'll show you just about 4 of them, because I won't show you all. There's Corpse Bug Brooch, gives you +2 health, which is a trinket, and you can enter hazard space and you won't be defeated. You've got the, can you read it? Yeah. Blood Script Ring. Apply -1 to your oh dear, I've forgotten what that was, but it's this one right here, how dare I, and apply +2 to your health, and each of your attacks gain a surge terrifying, yeah. The Witch Hazel Bow, which is +2 range, +1 damage, and terrify. Marsh Cloak, apply +1 to health, brown defense size, and you can treat water and sludge spaces as normal spaces, which is great. There's 8 of them. Well, not 8 of these, there's only like 1 of those each, but there's others. See, there are 6 of these Tainted Cards. I'll tell you about 2 just because you might want to know. So these are always given out random, giving the heroes +2 health. This one is, but well, as soon as the heroes are defeated, they get flipped up and apply the results. So you apply -1 to your awareness and might. Of course, the normal rules are always down here, which applies to all. When you are tainted, while you are knocked out, you can only recover damage from untainted heroes or heroic feats. And this one with Death's Hand. If a monster is defeated during your turn, exhaust this card. When you refresh this card, each hero suffers 1 damage anywhere on the board. Okay, that's just 2 out of 6. Some of them are pretty generic, as it were, just a few minuses on attributes or other little bits and pieces like that. This is a new condition Terrified, which is you cannot spend surges, and if there are no enemy figures in your line of sight, at the end of your turn discard this card or token, and that's Terrified. Oh, that's going to be fun, especially when you're like surrounding the heroes with lots and lots of monsters. Yes, it's going to be very, very fun. You do actually receive 3 Relics. Well, Relics, of course. Either the heroes get them or the villains get them. I'm not really going to say what's what here, but they are quite nice-ish, I guess. Kind of interesting. Not bad. And that was Mr. Bilehall. Okay, there really isn't much to say about this one. It's like the campaign looks quite good, I guess. It probably would be better with the Chains of Rust campaign to go along with it, so you've got a bigger campaign. Well, the artifacts stay where they are. Really, this was something I was looking forward to. It was supposed to be more of a the Overlord gets to have this and this and this, and it's more like the Overlord stuff. Well, it's not really. 3 Overlord monsters doesn't mean much. The Lieutenants are pretty good, but of course they can only be used in this campaign. The Relics are okay. But I'm surprised that the monsters doesn't do a lot of Terrify either, which is a shame. So really, when you're trying to incorporate something like this into your main campaigns, there's of course no rumour cards, so you can't play them at all unless you're playing the campaign itself. So, what do you truly get out of this? 3 monster groups, a few Act 1 shot cards, and some travel. That's practically it. Everything else can only be used in this. Oh, which is a shame. Never mind. Although it's quite nice to see Jane letting her hair down. And then of course there's Trollo the Strong saying, don't forget to pick up a hero or monster collection. Well, all in all, this one is a little bit of a letdown, I think. If there was like a Overlord class to say, hey, we're trying to play this campaign that's more on the Overlord side, that would have been fine. Especially if a basic 3. That would have been great. I would have been really happy. But there isn't a lot to it. I would have to rate this one a 6.5 out of 10. There's some good things about it. The Reanimates, I'm looking forward to using them. But that's really about it. If you just go along with any other campaign, that's about it. There's not a lot to it. I wanted a lot more. But never mind. Hopefully when the Chains of Rust comes in, put them both together, you should actually have a decent campaign with most of them being just a 1 encounter only, which means the campaign will speed things up, which I'm looking forward to that. But we only have part 1. Yay. Well, anyway, thank you very much. Until next time, bye.